Hi, it's Todd of Todd's Workshop here, and today we're going to have a look at a Latchet Crossbow. At least that's what I know it as. So I copied this about 12 or 13 years ago from one in a private collection. Now, I don't know of any others in museums, so if any of you out there, please let me know. I'd really like to know about similar examples. This was dated to the late 16th, early 17th century, and this style of crossbow, I understand, was popular amongst Border Reivers. They loved their horseback, they loved civil defence, they loved scrapping, or maybe they didn't, but they did a lot of it anyway. And this is well suited to that. So it is not of devastating power, it's got a short draw length, 280 pounds in draw weight. It's notable because it has an inbuilt cocking lever. Now, that does a couple of things. One is it allows you to reload quickly, and it allows the whole system, with a crossbow trigger system, to be reliable. It's all sort of established technology, this. It's been around for a while in one form or another. Now, if you think about firearms, because of course we're now in the age of gunpowder, absolutely, if you're talking about state-of-the-art wheel-lock pistols, they are neither fast to reload and nor are they reliable. And so this has an advantage over those. They, of course, have got stopping power in a way that this just simply doesn't. But it depends what you want for things, horses for courses. Now, the other thing about this is it has a top trigger. So the trigger system here is the rotating nut that is held in place by this sear bar, and that sear bar in turn is held in place just here on a little notch. I don't know if you may see that, a little step on the trigger. There's no spring system in here. You can put one in. It is difficult, I must say. It's very tight in all of this system. So the whole thing comes up. You can see that there's not a lot of room really for a trigger spring system. And the original did not have one, so I've not put one in this. But it does mean that you have to set it by hand each time. Now what happens is you pull the trigger back, sear pops down, nut's free to rotate. So it's an established, fairly straightforward system. It's slightly tricky to set up because, of course, if you think of a full-size crossbow, you've got a long trigger bar, maybe 8 inches, 20 centimetres long. You've got a long leverage and a full hand to squeeze that and set it off. This one, you've only got your thumb, so it's got to be a lighter trigger. So you're always in the danger with a mechanical trigger and it being light and not many parts, that it is either too hard to shoot or it's a hair trigger. So there's a little bit of work in to get through that. The other thing that's very notable here, of course, is the lever action. So you've got a catch at the back there, a very positive catch, because you do not want this catch to fail while the bow is loaded, because if it does that, two things are going to happen. One, your face or your hand is going to get very severely hurt. The other, of course, is that the whole trigger system, because it comes forward here, would be driven forward and into the front of the bow. So it would destroy the bow and a good chance of destroying part of you as well. So that catch is probably singularly the most important part of this whole system. It cannot fail. And there we have it. So we've got a cherry stock, a little bit of bone detail on the front, bone on the top deck. Nice bit of steel work here that's just used to bolt the whole thing together. And then a tiny little bolt bridge, so a bolt guide at the front here. That just holds the front, keeps it all aligned, and it allows very free movement. So you're maximising the efficiency of what is actually inherently a very inefficient system. Notably, again, there is no bolt clip, which you would absolutely think would be a necessity on something like this, but on the original it wasn't there. The top trigger, I also forgot to mention, is rather handy in this context. You can kind of shoot it from the shoulder, but your thumb is there. It works. But it's not really set up for that, much more sort of shooting from the hip. But the other thing is that it allows you to shoot single-handed, because you've got the trigger on top, you've got your thumb there, and you can just shoot. Although you've got to load it two-handed, you can then, once spanned, shoot single-handed. So it is a useful little thing. Hasn't got the stopping power of a big bow, obviously, but it has certainly got diversion qualities, because you're not going to want a bolt off one of these in the face or the chest at close range. So let's go shoot it. So I'm catching, running it forward, making sure that the catch at the back is down. Like I say, it's 280 pounds, so it's got a bit of grunt in it. clearly you can see why it'd make a good civil defence weapon. It hasn't got the hitting power of a big crossbow, it hasn't got the hitting power of contemporary firearms at the time, but it has got simplicity and it has got speed of reload, so it's one shot every 10 seconds. I'm getting a grouping, just shooting from the hip at, okay, close range, but I'm getting a grouping like that, and it's not a bow that I shoot. I haven't made one of these for a few years. Clearly, very, very effective. And there you have it, the Border Reivers Latchet Crossbow.